the Jamaican music industry now, not for the one another. They're almost completely unrelated subject matters. So, you know, there are some things that will work, but a lot of things that won't work in the space. I'm gonna ask you to hold, and I'm going to bring back in Italee, and hopefully, if I can find Blakfox if he's still here, because I just want us to have a general conversation.
Right.
Sis,
Okay.
yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
Hi,
Pam, you
Auntie
hear us?
Pam.
Yes.
Okay. All right, all right. I'm not seeing the your
Big up.
I love you. I love you, Miss Amazing. Long time I not see you.
You're a super talent and you are amazing.
Oh, thank you, Auntie. Boy, I mean, like, I have to big up Gibby because Gibby brought you in my life, and I just want everybody that is watching here not only know how amazing your talent is, but you as a woman and individual, you're a beautiful, beautiful soul. You understand? You touched me hard from the first day I met you. Come right up. And I want to thank you for all the great inspiration and just, to continue what with building confidence of people like myself, and the younger ones that are coming. We love you, we appreciate you, we honor you, and we treasure you, Auntie Pam.
Thank you, sis. And you want to make your light shine, you know? No limit.
hold on there. I'm gonna bring on Blakfox. Black,
Yeah, what's up?
me in the presence of greatness, look at brother. Yeah, the presence of greatness, man. Remember me tell you, yeah. It is wonderful to have you all as artists in the space. As I said, this is something new we're doing on the channel. This is the second time we're doing it. I'm not seeing the numbers we're used to, but don't worry, I'm gonna market this short the week. Italy, you know me still. So I will ensure that thousands of people end up seeing this interview by the time I cut them up and send them out to everybody. Having three amazing artists, let me say four, because I think I'm amazing too.
Of
Four
course.
in the
Yeah, man.
space, four artists in the space at four different levels in their careers. Um, the first time I met Pamela, I'm sure she don't remember. I was nervous and shaking, and she just feel like she know me a long time. You know, it was such a. But the truth is, my experience in the music business has been positive, 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 just positive. I've had
Understand.
the negatives I've had in the music business were not musicians and artists. It,
Right.
the corporate aspect of the business, if you get what I say.
Yeah,
Um, I, I wanted us to very quickly talk about two topics that them say had a road. Recently, the Prime Minister, and let me say this clearly, I am not political in any way. I'm going to vote for anybody, it would be His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie at first. Let you know straight. So, I'm not political that way. I'm political in another way, but I'm not political in that. But he made a statement that he's not the first prime minister to say it, and probably won't be the last, where he basically was saying that the violence in the music is driving the violence in the society, right? And of course, it was
other nations took our music and it has become anthems for progressive thinking right across the world, for freedom and resistance. And we embrace it as our culture. But in the last few decades, our music has been overtaken by violence. And I want to point it out here because Chronix came and he sang, and not one of his lyrics had anything to do about violence. He's one of my favorite artists. I listen to him all the time. We, by what we're producing, we are devaluing our culture, which is a very important asset for our economic development. So we're not just seeking to focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. we also see that there is serious work that needs to be done in our creative industries to ensure that we can produce works of art and music that are edifying and uplifting.
Immediate backlash, because many artists believe that when someone says this, it's threatening their creativity. However, let me say this very quickly. In Nazi Germany, in North Korea, and in many places where dictatorial figures are in the space or control the space, one of the things they use to control their people is music. They select the music that the public hears. That is what the public hears, and that music spreads their propaganda. And by so doing, people are indoctrinated into believing whatever those dictators are telling them. So in Nazi Germany, they were able to convince them that the financial problems of everybody in Germany was Jews and black people, right? Which was nonsensical. And in North Korea, the music tells, you know, when they use these, North Korea might not be the right place, but anyway, but when they use this as a means of brainwashing. I'm saying this to say to all of you, couldn't there be a little bit of truth to the fact that we have so much negative impact? This is what I believe. I was brought up to believe, and my life has taught me this, that what you think becomes your reality. What you think. So I hear a lot of Jamaicans say, they might fight me, the enemy. They might not fight me. I mean, I know enemy. Because I think if I keep saying that long enough, I can send that seed to the universe, I can get a whole heap of people that fight me and a whole heap of enemy. All right? And I don't. But that's how I see the space. Blakfox, you're the dancehall artist here. Ita, you're I would say you're a pop reggae almost. Pam, you are the icon here. Do you believe that there's any truth to the idea that the massive amount of songs coming out about gun and shoot and kill and make money now, do you think that that's impacting the nation in terms of crime, or do you believe it's simply reflecting what they're seeing? You know what I mean? People just are seeing what film reality.
All right. Let me tackle this topic first.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
Based on the fact that I'm more so in that space where, you know, I'm a power with more dancehall artists, them, and you know, this is what we see first. Two very important points I really want to make, right? From a political standpoint, right? I think the message, right, that is being portrayed from the government has a little bit of double standard in it. Because you have to remember, you know, during political campaigns, the music that is used is not Bob Marley music, you know, right? We don't use that positive music to try to campaign when we are trying to get votes.
Well,
right?
that's true, because they were using a lot of dub plates. I remember that was a big deal. Both parties were using dub plates.
Right, Zin. So you know, like people are link me and say, yo, I talk about politicians, you know. I link me and say, yo, we can't get Javelin if we do a dub for this MP or this person or whatever the case is, right? No, when they have achieved their goal, right, which is to win the election, then now they go and say in a public platform now to say that dancehall music, right, is now shaping the culture. Bear in mind that Jamaica crime rate has not ever decreased or go below 1,000 murders per year, right?
Well, there were 2 years it happened. There were 2 years.
2 years, but that's in minority, right? We're talking about majority, right? Because we're not alive for 2 years. We've been alive for over 50 years, right? Jamaica has been independent for. So what I'm saying is the culture has always been like this. So don't use the fact that we have technology now where you have a platform where you can say that dancehall music is the reason for crime and violence. Because remember, you know, when Dennis Brown and we had the Garnet Sills and all those great persons, by the way, iconic persons doing music, we still have, remember, you know, even Bob Marley, who was singing some of the most positive music, you know, right? They were trying to end his life.
Right.
So with that said, as I said earlier, I agree with Damon Crawford for some things that he said in the interview on stage, right? Where he said that it's persons who mostly have criminal intent who will go to that extent, because for some people it's just art. And me can speak for that personally. Because me ride gun, Sam. Me tell the girl to go up head top and divide legs and all of the maths where you can think about.
Right.
You understand? But at the end of the day, for me, it's just art. And I know this is going to be highly debatable.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just my standpoint, you know?
Pam.
Darling.
Pam?
Excuse me, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm in the interview, baby.
To be very frank,
Mm.
Jamaica has a horrible, horrible legacy of gun violence granted to us by the political parties. Them buy gun and demand. Then the people go on ammunition. Right? If the head of the stream is dirty, it will go pollute the rest of the stream. Right?
Okay.
That's one part of it. They cannot separate themselves from that, from the fruit of the seed that they planted, right?
Mm.
And nobody is impressed when they say that kind of stuff. On the other hand, though, music is a very, very potent and powerful tool which can be used for good or evil. So, for instance, if your personality or your mood is trending in a certain direction, then the music that will carry you there. It will help you to go there. If you're feeling suicidal, you have the music that will help you to jump off the bridge. If you're feeling violent, you have the music that will help you to do that. It's a very powerful mood enhancer. Extremely powerful. So I think it would be a good thing for us as those who produce music to do so responsibly.
But I mean,
while the politicians them can never, ever, ever, ever detach themselves from crime because them cause more than it.
Wow.
Music creators also have to be responsible in the messages that is said, because music is a whole brain activity. It makes you learn fast. It enhances your mood. It's not a half brain. It's not like left brain or right brain. It's a whole brain.
Yeah.
Functional.
Yeah.
So it would be good for us to be mindful of that too, in search of the dollar from the music. It would be good for us to be mindful of that.
Italee.
So that's the people's conscience, you know?
Yeah.
The music fraternity. I leave it to person's conscience. So,
Yeah, it's a beautiful point.
Musicians also cannot say that music has no influence. It has a powerful influence.
Yeah.
So we have to learn that too. But no politician can come talk about a music called violence. Because the music is called violence. Don't talk about
Italee.
All right, it's a beautiful point to come in on the conscience, you know, the conscience. That's what does it really, you know. As I said earlier, it's there's one war that has always been going on, and that is pro-life and anti-life. And as soon as we are all able to recognize that, then we will know, you know, how to pick a side, because most of us live our life randomly on any side of the fence. Hey, I've played my part in that too. You understand? Because of unawareness. You understand? So what I think needs to happen is that we need to create more platform that would entertain conversations such as these. You understand? So that messages could pass down, just like our doctor fat up mama with a prescription and get some pill and them take it and swallow it. We need some message that them can really know that this is healing medicine, conscience, she says. I tell you this though, the question though that you pose is a question that's always been asked. What come first, the chicken or the egg? You know,
That's why
life
I'm
to pick
opposite.
art, yeah, life to pick art or art to pick life. Well, put it this way, a cycle is a cycle, and whatever is in the cycle would be recycled. You understand? Until you break a new. Yeah, when you break a new, you create a new cycle. And from that new cycle, you can also break a new cycle. You understand? Create a new pattern. You understand? It's very imperative that us as artists understand that our tongue, our words, we are forming now. And what you do, how words are formed, you have to spell them out.
Yeah.
You're actually casting spells. We are. We're casting spells, and we're casting spells on ourselves and spells on our children and spell on our nation. And then we have a whole lot of spillover now. You understand? It's like, I love music. Listen, man, when we hear some artists that chop some melody, some alkaline, some, oh my God, cartel, like when you listen to the melodies and even how they use the rhyme and the words, like you're like, it's like a brain, like, yeah, it's straight to the brain. And it doesn't matter. Sometimes you don't even hear the words. I remember the first time I heard Cartel song, what you call it, the one that he's speaking like a British.
Yes,
You know? I was like, because before I was like, why then call this man a genius? This man is not a genius. When I heard that, I was like, oh my God, he didn't listen to that. Yo, artist, art, bam. But I tell you this, you know, the easiest tune to write, and me can tell you, yeah, because me can write outgun any guy, any day, watch enough movie, you know about them and know how to put it, how to write if you're a writer, you know, but at the end of the day, what do you get? What do you get?
But
People stroking your ego.
I'm sorry to intervene, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. In the creative space, we're supposed to be able to create, right, everybody?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be able to say, all right, this is what I choose to write. So, for instance, there are cartel songs that I absolutely love. I think they're funny. You know, there is one named PJ. I like a lot of Blakfox's stuff. Champion Boy, I think I'm one of the most brilliant dancers. It just come from left field, but it's really a very positive song. The thing though is, as a youth, I live a Premier Call, I used to thief out in the night. I used to go up, I used to go Marvel, go dance, right? My mother here now, she come beat me. I used to thief out and go dance. And even back then, you wouldn't hear some of Blakfox's songs publicly because there was no space to put it in. But the man they would have come and they would have DJ a gun song. May I tell you? And the rhythm them like in the dance. I kind of sometimes think that what really has happened now is that this has always existed. It's just now that with all these platforms, we are hearing it directly. So as a youth, I'd have to thief out at 10 and thief go dance, go through the back part of the fence in a Marvel and like a place. And I may hear them kind of music there. Maybe what's happening now is because the space has changed and there's a social media. As Blakfox said, you can promote, and people can hear it.
I don't think it's just that. I don't think it's just that, Peter. A bit to differ. Yeah. Tell me something. When you were in them space there and watch them man there, man there, they act like some caricature. You understand? So you know that they were humorous.
It was a cartoon, yeah.
It was a cartoon kind of character. All of these men, the screw up of the face, and they show you that they're doing art. Now these cats are taking it so serious that they're dissing each other's mother. They're killing each other.
I all right. So somehow I think I'm gonna be a little bit on the opposition side, right? I think that based on the fact that the space has changed, right? Now we're living in an era where you have to be more believable. Back then, before we had so much technology, right? A man, what was the way to do it was to go to a stage show, right? And you go there and you experience them live. Now it is more so you have so many things where can distract you from an artist. It's like an artist has to be somewhat of an actor then and also portray somewhat in his everyday life, right? So even though enough man will sing Badman song and really Badman enough, but it's like they have to make it so much more believable. It's like it puts them in a space where creativity also somewhat becomes reality. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Pamela was saying. And that's what I was saying. You're casting spells, not just on yourself, but also on the nation. You understand?
And somewhat I agree with you. But all right, for example now, right? Killing, because that's a main topic, right? The murder rate and all that kind of stuff. This is nothing new under the sun, you know. This has been around from biblical days, you know. Like, remember at one point, you know, even in the Bible, you know, right? We are going to a whole different dimension. But anyways,
no problem. That's why we're here at Jamaica Celebrity Talk.
And I don't think a lot of dancehall artists can really express themselves this way. But I mean, me think somewhat from even the Bible days, if you look back, you know, from man a kill man with sword, you know, you can see, say, boy, people, even at one time, there was an order to kill all newborns, you know, in the Bible, you know. Remember, you know, this was not influenced by music, you know, because back then we didn't even have vocals to accompany music, you know. Back then we had people who were playing those instruments, right? But still, we had a violent nation.
That's not really correct. That's not correct, really. They're always vocalists. They always existed. But I get their point. But Pam, yeah, you had said, you mentioned the term, which I found fascinating. You basically said, all right, so we have to be careful about what we're saying to earn money. And Ita seems to be saying yes, because we are creating a space that might become so volatile that none of us can be here. Blakfox seems to be saying, yeah, but all we're doing, we're actors playing a game because we believe that this is the best way to have our presence felt in the space. In other words, Blakfox is coming from, someone once said to me that Cartel changed dancehall for the worse. I cannot say I agree with that. I think Cartel took a message and took it to its extreme, where the dominance of the thing. Maybe what we need in the space is more positive music to counteract all the music that people think is negative. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Maybe we need to hear more Pama, more Ita, more Italee. You get me, to counter. Yeah, you understand me, to create that. Because I remember when I dropped Wake Them Up in 2004, right before that wave of myself and Chesdek and them sang there, appear gal and gun tune. Like literally that's all we were hearing until people rose up. The other day again, it was the same thing. There was a lot of this kind of music. And then out of the blue, we had what's the name, Chronics and all these artists. So maybe it's a matter of balance, because I kind of think that they have a right to express themselves within the space. Bounty Killer is no killer. The world we know that. Killer, one of the nicest people ever, but Killer's anger reflected the anger of every ghetto youth. And not every youth in Jamaica could I understand. Look into my eyes. We understood exactly what he was saying. I'm saying, is there a way? Because I think everyone here is actually correct. I think Pam is correct. What Pam is saying is, look, we have to be careful what we are doing to make money. We cannot sacrifice our children's future just because we are trying to eat our food.
But Peter, look at this though for a second, right? All right. the first time ever me ever end up on YouTube trending list, right? Because I was trending at number 50, you know, for like a
Yes.
day, right? With
Yeah.
Heavy.
Mhm.
And the first time, because me I do a lot of covers, you know, me cover like love songs, me cover
Mhm. I know.
all of them type of songs them. And me never get no forward in the dancehall. And you see when me sing Heavy, which it's the mixture of like girls are dance and you know the whole violent thing as well we are speak about, is when me actually get a little forward. So how do you now tell a man, say boy, who are earn off of that, say boy, listen, you have to limit the creativity, you know, and try and do something else. But when he really did a try that before.
Man, we gotta find ways to expand ourselves. I can't tell you how because I've been searching for that myself. I mean, I got onto Shaggy Hot Shots album with a song where I said, "Boy, what have you done for me? I've been going down on you. You're not going down on me." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm trying to expand myself, and I am just being more like a musical activist now. We have to find our sense of purpose. So I'm not here to bash anyone because, as I said to you, say me hear the music, I'm say, wow, become a big woman. You understand? And I put it in the space that I'm in, but I'm not going to play it around my children. But we're living in a society that is just randomly being played. Everything, every little around our children. And then now all our daughters become more twerkers than creators. You understand? And then we realize what we have done. When you look around the world, you see so much black women that shake them bam bam right now in that camera, more than you hear them talking about the injustice that is happening in our society.
But I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because you said in the camera. And this is exactly the point I'm making. You know, a lot of people, because we have technology now. Ladies have always been twerking. It's just that we have technology now that highlights a lot of things that were once considered.
You know how the propaganda go. You know they do it. They set the module of how they want us to behave. They write the narrative, and everybody follow. Because listen, you know, if they want us to do anything, and when I say they, I mean what goes against the grade of the development of that black child or of that mind that is promoting pro-life. You understand? Let's take care of our surrounding. Let's take care of the family. Let's nurture these trees. Let's make sure that the community is safe. You know what I mean? We don't have much of that going on. It's just a whole lot of demoralizing across the whole globe that is happening right now. So for me as an artist, I'm being an activist to say that we need to wake up and realize that there is something happening that is threatening mankind, our life. Look on the murder rate in Jamaica right now. We can't talk about this again. And when I'm a little girl, I used to run in my Sosa panty from Mona Commons all the way down Elliston Flats up into the hills of Dread Heights to look for my grandfather. I never have to worry about rape, a man, pervert are being taken away. So we can't act like things not change and I talk like, oh, things is no, this is oh, there were children, anyone who's listening, that's all bull crap. It's a lie. None of that is true. None of that is true. None of that never did go on. You understand? It used to be random, like a rare case that it happens. So when them things that happen, the whole of Jamaica here, and guess what? You look and the people them on the television, them all are cry because them feel it. Now we are so desensitized to all of that, to our own hurt, to our own demise. We can't recognize it anymore.
I agree, but even with that said though, right? Even the artists who are propelled to the top of the music game, for example, Abonti or Beanie, right? They were not propelled because of the best music that they make, like Look Into My Eyes or anything like that. It was the clash that they did at like some fest or a sting, where
that it was the clash or it was the appeal that they set in terms, because they were doing girl song too, they were doing God song too. I remember when Bounty Killer and Moses are crashed, them all a draw for them God song, them draw for them Mama song, Them this song come on.
True, but
You understand?
if we look into the true essence of what the clash is, true, but
they
if we
were
look
able
into the true essence of what a clash is, right? A clash is actually two opponents going against each other, you know, right? To determine who is the alpha male, right? And with that,
a clash can also be a musical sound being made.
Mhm.
Do you understand?
True.
A clash don't have to be negative.
But on a platform where some feds are,
I've watched a lot of amazing clashes. You understand?
yeah,
Mr. Shabba Ball on stage, brethren.
Mhm.
You understand?
That is it.
And no man, no earth, and no man, no this, nobody mad, and no man, and nobody no get up. None of their fans no get up the next day and become a killer junkie. But the point that I'm going to make right now, right? A video of someone's brother in the industry that they just murdered.
The point I'm going to make, right? Even though that may be the case, right? Remember, you know, 10 years ago, right? If you refer to a female as bitch, that would have been an insult, you know, to the highest level, you know. Nowadays,
as I said,
no, I know. I'm going to make a point though. You know what is? Nowadays, a female refer to themselves as the baddest bitch, right? It's in an Instagram name and them bio. Okay. So what I'm saying,
so you see the power. You see the power of the word. You see the power of the word. First of all,
I'm gonna jump in. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Hold on. This is what I was hoping for, an honest conversation about. Because here's the thing: you're both standing in a place that makes sense. Ita, what you're saying is we have a responsibility as artists, no matter what we think. The fact of the matter is everything we say, it becomes reality. There's some child out there. Just like me as a little youth, when we used to watch karate movie, and my father carry me go then Odeon Theater, and I watch karate movie, and I come out, and I lick a pit, and I go, because in my mind, you can do all them karate move there. You get me?
Yeah.
King Clint Eastwood, make my day. I mean, I say, yeah. So as a youth, you believe that. Blakfox now is saying something that is also interesting. He's saying, look, I did all these other things and it never worked. And I'm gonna put out this song that personally is my favorite Blakfox song. Heavy. Me personally love that tune. You know, I love all them songs them because I'm a bridge, you know, I support it. But he said this song got him trending top 50 YouTube. That's a huge deal. And the question he's asking is, how then do I step away from this? Because my goal is to succeed. And the public seems to be saying to me, and that's what I wanted to bring up now. The public seems to be saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Finish that statement. He's saying, because at the end of the day, it's the public that have to endorse us. For whatever reason.
Yeah.
You have to say, listen,
but
like.
It's the same conversation. The chicken come before the egg, because the public has bite into the acquired taste that was fed and given by the propaganda of the broadcasting and all those who are set there to play and to be the conductors of channeling what is going to become our culture or the next hit or the next thing. And some of these songs are not, I'm not talking about you, Blakfox. I love your song. All right, mind. And I don't want you to get it wrong.
Trust me. I understand.
I'm an adult. I choose my music as an adult. You know, I'm talking about the stories that children are, that we just fling them on our airwaves, in our community. I mean, even the man we have the sound box have a responsibility for not about, I play about, well, I can't say them thing there right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Little data passing yada here and all of that. Come on, man. We can enjoy ourselves in our own private zone and have fun with it if that's our taste, right? So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this, right? Seriously, as artists, right? You have
Hold on a second.
I'm not asking you to step away. I could never ask Spice to step away from what she has created, because Spice has cut a road for herself. And I'm very proud of her. She found her niche market and she cut a road and she made that.
You know, if I may,
but what I'm saying
if I may,
also, I want to punch this point. What I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
saying is that, so you get that platform, and this is where you do. Don't be coming because you say you do it because you want your presence to be seen. Is that really your presence? Is that your presence? Because your presence is your essence. And you're telling me that's your essence? That's what you're telling me. So it's a thing that artists have to recognize themselves as beings. And as a being,
I understand what you're saying, but it's as if you're saying.
Okay, hold a second. One second. Pam wants to say something. Pam?
Yeah, I have a question for Blakfox.
Right.
You've done several songs before, right?
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. So you were already building.
Right.
Right?
Right, yeah, I was already building, yeah.
So this song here now, Heavy, I don't know the song, right? So
Right.
I'll make it my duty to go and listen to it. So it have badness and stuff in it?
I mean,
Not really.
not really, but
Visual.
we have a gun in the, you know,
Yeah, the visuals.
Badness, the visuals, you know?
Yeah.
All right, here's the question. Using that same rhythm, some of that same energy, and turning it into a positive direction. Like I said, I don't know the song, so I can't judge whether or not it was.
Keep talking, 1 sec. Go ahead.
I will let you know what I think when I listen to it. But a song, let's not say your song, a song that somebody else might do, that's positive, but the music is very attractive and the message is put in a very, it can be even in a comedic way, but getting across a positive message.
Right.
Or it can be a song that is naughty, but not all that gross. Do you think, given the trajectory that your career has been taking, that you could have done a song like that at this time, and with all you have done, how to promote and blah, 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 using that you could have still had a successful song? Going on this, not saying it has to be do this and do that and be good and whatever, but it could be maybe amusing, but it could be a positive, very positive, encouraging song as well.
True reality.
Hey, using all your resources in the same way, do you think the song you have now could have been successful utilizing more positive stuff?
Well, this is my reaction to your question, right? In everything in life, if there's a balance, you have to use what persons would refer to as bad to highlight good, because without any bad music, there's no good music. Right? Because that is just the algorithm. To show what is good music, right? So what I consider myself being is a part of the scale, right? Which balances, right, art itself. Because to project good, you have to have persons who actually make bad music, because what is good without bad, right? And then the term bad is also relevant. I mean, who consider that music bad? Persons who made that music trend at number 50 consider it good music.
Yeah.
So it's all left up to perception. Like, how do you interpret the music? What I'm getting at is that it is not the message that is sent out, because we watch the most violent movies, right? With Tom Cruise, Clubman, and all of that, and yet still, we will take our child, Zin, on a grand Friday night, to Montego Bay or Kingston, to any one of the greatest movie complex them, and we go sit down and we buy popcorn, and we sit down and we watch any movie, right? With man a slide off a building, a shoot man, oh my God, that's a good movie. right? And then we go back home and then say, "No, that's cartel, man. What kind of music that you listen to my house?" That's
well, in defense, I would never. I don't do that with my children ever.
I don't do that with my
I make them
children
aware of the
either.
reality. I make them aware of the reality. But look, you know what?
And maybe you guys are in the minority.
But here's what's remarkable about the conversation. All you are making very valid points, more than valid points, because I can understand a young artist climbing in the space who finds a hit. How do you tell that artist now that, because it means that there are people who made the song trend who now are expecting more from Blakfox within that space. Am I correct?
All right, before my trend, I didn't have like 100 people for me people. Now I have like 3,000 people. So it's like people just start, zoning into what I don't know, because I'm making what they consider good music.
Okay,
so then I would say this is where my activism come back in. I would say, brother, we're in a serious time. That platform that you have that is growing, use it as well. You understand, to educate and inform the people how to stay together. No big deal, just how to stay together. That's what I'm advocating for. Using the music to bring the people together, to bring the family together, to create better family structures. As I said, like, there's a place for everything under the sun. Everything under the sun. That's why we were given all these options. You understand? But there's also a point of responsibility. And as artists, I would say, I'm not talking about anything other than being an artist and what has been handed down onto us. I think being an artist or a musician is one of those faculty that everybody wants to be. Everybody dreams. It's a part of everybody's childhood dream. Who can sing? Who can sing? Who can dance? Who can dance? And we have to also speak the reality. There's a lot of non-singers that the computer give voices now that are also creating the spell and the words and making it.
True.
All right.
So then,
I'm going to jump in again. Apologies, because we're coming close to that time. Look, recently, Bounty Killer said something that I expected him to say at some point. Bounty Killer said, "I am ashamed of some of the music that I put out when I was younger." Vegas, several years ago, said, I came home, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I come home, I hear my daughter, I listen to the songs, and I say, my God, she can't listen to that. Right? What I'm saying is, some of the greats, and I would consider those two of the greats, and them other artists who have said this to me personally, yo, me don't want to pick them list to my music from them time. But I can also state that songs like, Poor People Fed Up, songs like Look Into My Eyes, these are anthems. These songs will live way beyond him going to sing them, no matter what him do. These songs.
I was actually shown in Meadows when these two songs was being created. I actually watched him voice it, him and Dave Kelly writing. Yeah, I was right there. It was in that time I was there in that space. I get to watch these things, and it was so needed at the time, because what most of the youths were lacking in them times there, coming even towards now, there's so much distraction and the demoralization. I got deeper, is attention. And when Bounty Killer came forward and said, look into my eyes, tell me what you see. And he was talking from the reflection of all the youths around that, the story, what the story talk about. You understand? Poverty is the problem. Poverty is what make we sing gun tune, bomb tune, make we asking up. Man, I'm ashamed of a lot of things that I've written.
But all right, but let's look at it from this standpoint, right?
That I am.
Let's
I'm going to jump in again. I don't think poverty is our problem.
Let's look at it from this standpoint, right?
Hold on. Hold on. I have never believed it's our problem. Problem is ignorance. Our
poverty.
It's ignorance.
That's poverty.
That's what I'm saying.
That's poverty.
And it's just speaking poverty in a different sense. My
That's why
has
I
been,
said poverty is also a state of mind.
yes.
Ignorance.
Okay. I didn't hear you say
Mental
that.
poverty.
Yes, because for me, if we were able, I said this to someone earlier today. If there was one gift, if I was wealthy enough, I would make every Jamaican fly out of Jamaica and not go to Miami, not go to New York, not go to Stone Mountain, Atlanta, not go to London. I want them, I send them somewhere where them not go about no more Jamaicans and have them live that experience for 2 years. I guarantee you when them come back
Texas.
here, different country. Because once you travel, it opens this.
It opens up the mind. It opens up the mind.
When artists start to tour,
outside.
yes.
It doesn't have to be outside of the nation, because even within our nation, there are different cultural groups. And I am so blessed to be a part of the cultural circle of these young, awesome artists and some of these elders like Earl Chinner Smith, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chronics, Empress Sativa, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the list goes on. Black Hero, you know what I mean? The list goes on of these people that are trying to do something to wake us up before they make we kill ourselves off and them kill us off. We have all the help in the world to reach towards the state of death. So why are we?
I have a very valid point, though.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Let us not forget that Bounty Killer's first hit was not Look Into My Eyes.
Yep.
We
Right?
know that.
No, I know. I'm just
that.
making a point. I'm making a point, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even though we have positive persons in the space right now who have transcended from one point to the next. For example, a Capitan, a Agent Sasko. Right? There's a few names that forward right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first set of music what I'm really doing was music with appeal to a certain niche. It is harder.
Was it niche, or were they just speaking their experience? Because one of the points I was trying to
That's a very good point too.
Yeah, one of the points I was trying to make.
Act as if this is not reality, you know. We can't
One of
act
the points I was trying to make.
Daisies and roses and bunnies and unicorns that slide over rainbows. That is not our reality in Jamaica. And we remember every day that art is a reflection of our everyday life.
Hold on, wait. We have heard that many times, and I agree and I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the leaders of the nation are the artists and the artisans. I've always believed that. I believe not only can we create the space, but we can dominate it. I believe that we can set the trend. I believe that we can reverse the trend. What the point I was trying to make earlier was that Pam Hall was not the Pam Hall she is now. She evolved. I mean, now she wasn't doing that kind of music, but I'm saying as she grew, as she matured, her wisdom, her knowledge, her, you know, much about the right. A Bounty Killer, when I first met Bounty Killer, was really cross, angry, miserable. He really was. But as I watched him evolve, he just stay so.
Listen, remember this in a Bounty went from flinging a hammer, using a hammer on a female to now be walking and to be saying and advocating for men to stop the violence against women.
But you know, I'm glad you guys said that.
Yeah.
Because
educate young man. So listen. So Blakfox. This is what I'm saying. The conversation is not to condemn or to point a finger, because me tell you already. The song that sold 15 million. Me tell you what me there to say. You understand?
True.
I needed to make money because I have children. And I've written songs for some artists that even when I hear about me say, oh my God, Ita, oh my God, you wrote that. I couldn't believe it, but I put myself in that tunnel vision, in that space, and brought that world into me so that I can make a means to an end. But what I'm saying, there's a space for everything. So I'm not talking about if an artist if that's what your essence is, and that's what you deal with. You understand? If what that you deal with, that you deal with. Every man have to know what them I deal with. So no, any man of God, anybody can what about the beam in our own eyes?
Mhm.
You understand? We have beams in our own eyes, so we have no time to be pointing fingers. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is, as a musical activist, Italee, my motto as an artist is to illuminate minds and hearts through music. It didn't come about yesterday. It just a come about.
Mhm.
You understand? 15 years ago, I didn't have that motto. I started seeing what was happening in our society, and the way our society said that when we're having conversation, it seems more like it's a war, attack on a war, or we have to be defending ourselves. No, no. What we have our conversations for is to break down the walls of illusion. We have to break down these walls of illusion and recognize what is happening. So whether a man wants to sing about 16,000 bullets rushing through a brain,
Mhm.
yeah, and he knows it's an act, it's his duty to declare that it's an act.
So,
And
all
as
right.
an artist,
With that
stand in
said,
the
though, Italy.
active
With that
mode
said, though, Italy.
of, go
Let's say we
ahead.
had Tom Cruise on this platform right now, right?
Yeah.
Where Tom Cruise's role is to
Mhm.
be a villain in a movie, right? Or a gunman, as we call it in Jamaica, right? It would be hard for you to tell him that he should now try to find sister act for part 4 or part 3, Zine, and play a role in that. Because you know what?
No, no,
Tom
no, no, no.
Cruise is
That
known.
sound like that sound like total madness. The
No, man, no,
difference
man,
with
I get
Tom
to a point.
Cruise
I get
and
to a
us.
point, man. I get to a point.
Okay,
What I'm
go
saying
ahead.
is, right, for Tom Cruise, it's another
Yeah.
day. It's another day of me making a movie and trying to sell out in the box office, right? For the man on the
Right.
corner who are watch the movie, we have an illegal gun. Say, Ratty, I see you pull on your gun. I see you fit up your back. Oh, Tom Cruise, bad enough. So what I'm saying is, sometimes the artist's intent is not what the perception is of the person who is receiving the message.
I, okay,
And
can
that,
I say something?
no, hold on,
Okay,
no,
you're using the analogy of Tom.
no, man, no, I don't want to skip that. I don't want to skip something I don't want to say for a long time. Even
Yes.
with the
Okay, go ahead.
Bounty Killer, right?
Mhm.
Who has evolved, right? Bounty Killer
Mm.
was once in that space, right? Where he had to make that music to make a breakthrough, right? I'm
That is
applaud Bounty
true.
Killer right now, as an artist where I try push this conscious narrative, which is very much needed in the space. Me now go against that as if me not realize that the crime rate is high and but the thing is, what I want people to do is don't necessarily blame it all on music, as if
Mhm.
without violent music there wouldn't be persons dying from gunshots and violence. Because this is coming from Stone Age days. Where a man see a man over there so and he just go chilling for no reason.
All right, hold on,
But
hold
that's
on,
not the
hold on, hold on, hold the thoughts, hold on there.
conversation.
Hold on there, everybody. You're watching Jamaican Celebrity Talks. We are discussing the statement as to whether or not um the music creates the violence or the violence is just simply reflected in the music. We're talking to Blakfox, rising artist, Italee, singer, songwriter, songstress, unbelievably accomplished. And we're talking to the living legend, the icon, one of the greatest voices in the history of music, not just reggae, the one and only Palmer Hall. I'm your host, Peter Lloyd. We are getting to that space, people, where we can't stay on much longer. We have been on for way longer than I had anticipated. So I'm going to ask each of you to say, just your final piece, can't be too long, and then I'm going to ask Pamela to close out. Lion, what do you have to say?
Basically, what I'm saying is, first of all, it's been an honor to be on here with Peter Lloyd, Pam Hall, Italee. I mean, you guys are helping me through quarantine because I'm at home alone, just drinking some Appleton rum and
That's good. That's good. That's
just
good.
a whole vibe, right?
Yeah.
And the conversation is good, right? I really enjoyed this conversation tonight,
Yeah.
and I do understand where they're coming from. where their view on the music is, we kind of need a little bit more positive energy in it. But what I was trying to say is that it will not come from everyone. And that's why I made a point where the balance is needed. Even though you might think that, this type of music is not really the best type, but it is needed for the other persons, like even Chronics will say, to highlight and say, yo, this is what we need, because without the bad, the good has no presence. That's all I was saying,
All right.
So,
Queen Italee.
Okay, so what I would say, just quickly, we have to remember that Tom Cruise stepped into his role with a narrative written for him, and he understands that clearly. Now we are stepping into role with narrative written for us that we don't get. So what happened? The balance, we don't have much of a balance because everybody have followed the trend, the thing that I work, that them say I work. You understand? So you're gonna find 1,000 murderer come out speaking. I mean, not murderers, but artists murdering, on tracks. You
Right.
understand? Murdering, kill a woman, because that's the narrative that is set in motion. Not just here in Jamaica, but look on the hip hop industry that is coming from people like Rakim, you know what I mean? KRS-One, LL Cool J, Fresh Prince. Listen to the message of them time and come right up into hip hop now and check it out. Same thing from Shabba them, come right down from them side and come up now and check it out. It's a blueprint that was created for us, for a demoralized society, to desensitize us from the murdering that is happening. You understand? Our women move from here in Yankees calling themselves bitch to now calling themselves the queen bitch. And remember that this is a blueprint. And how the blueprint set in motion and work is that they glamorize something that is of that essence and put it at the highest podium, and then through propaganda and creating this thing that you call novelty, they send it out into every household and everybody hear it so much that we all bite the cake. God, I love me, my Jada Kingdom. You know what I mean? I love Jada. I love Shensia. Come on, man. But what I'm saying, I mean, like, there's some people who are natural, so we know the real one them. But there's too much fake in the game, just there because nastiness is easy for right. It's the easiest thing to write, Peter. We all know this.
Yeah, we know this.
Violence because it's the lowest base. So it's a heavier pool than the higher ether. So as an activist, it's not to fight against no artist doing what they're doing. Hard power to the people. That's what I say. Go get what you need to get. But do it with a conscience, as Pam said. Do it with a conscience and do it with a responsibility. Make them know, say, yeah, man. You act the role. It's a narrative and you know the script. Don't act like you don't know the script and the script is so real. So the little 9-year-old boy, when the know say it's not a real script, believe it's a real script and idol, and he start following you. And guess what now? He's following only a elusive you because you're not even real.
Yes, me get to you say.
I would contest that, but I've said my piece,
All right. Hold on.
We need to stop
Pam.
down them.
All right, Pam.
Yeah.
Your final thoughts.
Love Blakfox. Love you, brother.
Hold on. What you said, Pam?
Yeah, the original topic was that the Prime Minister said that
Yes.
Dancehall
It's
driving the violence. Right?
yes, right.
We don't get to use it during the election and then condemn it. It's hypocrisy, and I don't think many people are impressed by that.
Agreed.
That's one. So,
The respect of our culture, no hypocrite in the palm.
okay, second point is we as creators and performers and so on, at the end of the day, bottom line, whatever you call it, you have to live with yourself, so you decide which way you want to go, what balance you're going to work with, what your aims are, the end of the day, you have to decide. You have to shape yourself and decide. So that's what I think. So I don't spend my time condemning any kind of music. What I do is listen to what I like. So that is out there. If I hear a song and it goes in a certain direction, I say, let's see what we can get from that. So,
right.
And that way, so I do what I like. I'm not condemning anybody. Everybody have them coping mechanisms. Everybody have what they want to do, and everybody have their what conscience. Everybody has their mirror. I don't mean a literal mirror. The man in the mirror.
Yeah.
All right, that person in the mirror. Only you, honestly, can know all that's going on inside of you. So we have to constantly look at ourselves, decide what we're going to do, and bottom line, we really can't fool ourselves. We will try and rationalize X, Y, and Z, but we really can't fool ourselves. So it's really up to us to decide what we're doing.
Well, I want to say thank you.
That's one thing.
Yes.
One thing, though. That's awesome. Please limit what you export. The kind of adult movies and music and talk that you expose your children to. That I would have really put out that appeal to people. I saw something on Instagram one day with some really adult, material. And this person is playing it for the child.
Wow.
And that same person just might slap the child if they hear it coming back from the child, after having exposed the child to that.
True.
So that part is important.
You know what? I want to thank you all for being in the space. When I coined the term Jamaican Celebrity Talks, I mean, you're all celebrities. Deep conversations. We're talking about dancehall, reggae, and how it impacts our country, Jamaica, and we Jamaicans. And I could not be more humbled and happy to have three remarkably articulate and intelligent persons in the stream. It's Blakfox represented dancehall perfectly, and the two queens, as we know, were not two queens, so the king and the two queens them. So I'm very, very grateful. This was not to be a 3-hour stream, which it has been. It was but you know what? When the music hits you, feel no pain. Yeah, well, you know what? I believe that we had fun. What I normally do is cut up the interviews and then I share them out to the world. So it's wonderful to have you three here. As I said, our purpose is really to educate, it's really to teach people who want to get into the game how the thing really operates and what's really going on, and hence the type of questions. I mean, not asking the traditional, who inspired you, what is your, what do you say to upcoming artists? Because you should have covered that. So thank you all for being gracious enough to do this with us. And 3 hours. Because I'm supposed to be hungry and tired, but it was a joy. And a pleasure to have, 3 of my favorite people in one space. And look, Blakfox, me love the song, but not lie, be love it. I'm gonna tap beat the tune.
I love the tune too, Blakfox.
Yeah, thank you.
And I love your expressiveness as well.
Thank you.
And it's very good to hear you talking and speaking. We need more room, like, created for this in dancehall and reggae in our culture,
Yeah, but we're new to the space. We're new to the space, so we'll take over the space. If you want to follow the great Pam Hall at Instagram, it's just at Pam Hall on Instagram. Italee, if you want to follow Italee on Instagram, please check her out, at Italee _world. Blakfox, please. Oh, and another thing, stream the music of these artists. You will not be disappointed. Amazing stuff. Blakfox song are going wicked. Love it. You can find him on IG at Blakfox. One done. One done. I'm Peter Lloyd, and it's been a pleasure hosting these three remarkable people here.
Oh, that's one thing. The
Yes.
Palm Hall on Instagram
Yes.
is 3 L's in the hall.
Yes,
Palm
I
Hall.
forgot to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, else, and I accidentally.
Yeah, but I'm gonna follow both ladies, man, right after
Right.
this one, right now,
Yes.
you know? Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, we can all get together in a space and create.
Yeah. That would be
Always a wonderful thing.
and we are the world
Super.
type of thing. We
Yeah.
are the world.
Yeah, and happy to state that we have had the amazing Italee perform on the Rising concert. She was remarkable. We have
They got
Blakfox.
Blakfox on there.
Yeah, you know he's booked. He's booked for next
Yes,
month.
sir. It's gonna be good.
Yes. And then the following month we have the Icon Pam Hall.
All right.
Hey, Pam.
Like, you know, so I'll be more excited.
Yeah.
You're gonna see these interviews cut up and sent all over, and I'm gonna send you guys links so you can share it to your fans and your friends. And thank you guys for making it you know, Jamaican Celebrity Talk. We talk the thing them, we talk the real thing them. I loved what you said, Pam. When they head of the stream, dirty. Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, and for me, the truth is, I don't believe in condemning anybody in the arts. I think once we start to restrain artists, that's how the Gestapos and the you know, all the negativists, because when you control the artisans, you control the society, because we are the leaders. You know, I just think we need to be a little bit more responsible, and I also think that we need to create more balance. So for every negative dancehall tune, there should be 10 positive tune that come out. That's my thing. And I think once we go back to the balance, we'll be fine. Because the truth is, I'm going to be honest with you, some of my most favorite songs are going tune. Not like you.
Yeah.
Killer, my favorite DJ. No, and all versions.
Sexy songs too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
because
thank you all.
and
Thank
I
you
tell
for
you,
being in the space.
What you asked?
Yes, I agreed.
What he asked? I didn't hear him.
No, by the way, Marianne has been with us till the end. Thank you so very much, Marianne. She's coming all the way from Canada. Thank you, Marianne.
Big up yourself,
Everybody
bro.
came to the team.
yeah, man.
I love all of you, my brother. Love you, sisters. Love you, know. You
Love
people,
you too.
Blakfox, you will continue to rise. Yeah, you will continue to rise. Keep making great music. Ita, keep rising. Pam, you're already
Yes,
there.
sir.
We need to hear more. Some new stuff came out the other day. You need to check out our new stuff. It's amazing stuff. So, all right, people. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Jamaican Celebrity Talks. Big up.
Bless up.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Bye. Big up. Big up.
Bless up. Bless up.
Big up.
Big up, love up. Yep.